This is my piece of clay that fits around the bowl that I cut. This is the gold, Premo Gold Metallic. Some Premo White mixed in just to lighten it up a little bit. And however much translucent, Sculpey translucent, that I needed to get enough clay to work with. I took the same canes and the slices that we made in the translucent bowl, and I put them on this sheet. I also put my sheet of clay on parchment paper so I could turn it and move it, but you need to be able to turn it around easily to get your cane slices down. And you can do that by burnishing or taking a little roller and roller over and taking a little roller and rolling over them. Or you can take a burnishing tool and burnish them down. Just make sure to run your fingers across them and that you can't feel any edges. You want these cane slices down really tight with no air underneath them. So be careful of that. And I'm going to take a blade, because I'm going to do the same thing to the other side, which is going to give me a gold bowl with the same cane slices on the outside of the bowl and the inside of the bowl. So I want to make sure that I can get this up very carefully, because I don't want to tear it up at this point. And you just hold your blade down at a 45-degree angle, just like you do on the tile or your work surface. Now originally this was rolled out on a number 1, but I have placed the cane slices on there and burnished them down, so it's a little bit thinner than that now. Let's get the bowl. And see where this goes to. That one came totally apart, but I can put it back together. I just wanted to get some idea, because I took the cane slices closer to one end than I did the other. So it looks like if I cut it just like a 1/4 of an inch off that edge, then that's going to work. So I'm going to leave it there for now. I'll cut it off when I finish. Okay, so we'll lay these back out, roll my clay back together, and get some cane slices cut for the other side, and I'll be back. Okay, this is where I am now with this. I went ahead, just like I did in the translucent bowl video, and put all of my canes down, grouped them together in the flowers and the leaves. I burnished them with my burnishing tool. I rolled over them with my little clay bender, one of the smaller ones, because I can gain more control over it. And what you want is not to be able to feel the cane slices when you run your fingers over it. And I've put slices over top of slices, put my butterfly over the leaves, flowers over flowers, and this is going to be the outside of the bowl. The other side will be the inside. Now I want to show you why it's what to do when you have cane slices that are packed in translucent or another color, like my little hummingbird here, isn't he cute, is packed in a really white translucent clay. And I want to show you what to do. First off, you've got to make sure your cane slices are warmed up. So put them between your fingers and push on them. To begin with, it'll make them thinner, and the thinner the better. But it's going to warm them up, so hopefully they won't crack, because you can take your X-Acto knife and go in and cut out some of the background that's translucent. Now, if you have another cane that maybe have a black background, I would suggest that if you can't cut away all of the background, that you use it on a darker color of clay. It's also better if you take your X-Acto knife or blade, depending on how big your cane is, and cut into it and not cut across it. When you cut across it a lot of times, it splits the cane. So you just want to go in and cut that piece out and do it that way. I'm going to put him up here. I'm going to push the cane slice down. This is just a piece of press and seal I will put over top of it. I will take my burnishing tool. We'll start in the center and pull outwards, because you definitely do not want air bubbles. Let's do the same thing with this ladybug. I love these ladybugs. Toni made such beautiful canes. I love to get her canes. And again, I'm going to cut out some of this larger space of the translucent. See the more translucent right here on the back part? I'm going to go in and cut across there. I'm not going to cut myself. And I'm going to go down this way and pull that out. And I'm going to leave the rest of them on there. There's the ladybug. Let's put a ladybug up here. And I'm going to press it down. Let me go back out a little bit. We'll press it down. Then I'm going to burnish it on there, and I'm putting pressure. It's not going to distort the cane slice. I just want it to be worked down into that other clay on the base. There we go. And I've got two butterflies. We'll do the same thing. I'm going to cut slices out just with one time going down through the clay with my X-Acto knife, because sometimes you get like a shadow. If these were all in gold, no, you wouldn't get shadows. If you're using a cane slice or a cane that has a black packing on it, then you need to make sure that you use a dark color clay on your background, or it's going to get a really noticeable backing on it. And butterflies can fly anywhere. So let's put a butterfly, I don't know if you can see that, let me go out. Let's put a butterfly way over here, and we'll press it down. And I know you see this slit in my clay, and I will show you what I'm going to do with that. One of the things that I knew about doing this bowl is it's better to do it in 2 layers and 2 bakings. You do the one side with your cane slices on it, put it together and bake it, and then do your other side and put your cane slices on it. Put your sides together, your outside and your inside together, and bake it for a second time. That is the best way to do this. Let me move these slices out of the way back here so I can turn this around. And this is one reason why you have it on parchment paper or some sort of paper. And don't leave it sitting on your paper very long. The paper will leach your clay. So, and you don't want that. Okay, I'm going to bring my clay up here together. And I'm going to roll over it. And I still would love to have an antique-y old look to this gold bowl. I don't know if it's going to be that way or not by the time I'm finished. But we can see. I've a circle that's going to go on the bottom of my bowl once I get this clay on there. I was going to wait and put that on the bottom, and I think since I have them, I'm going to put a cane slice in the center, maybe just on the outside or maybe just on the inside. And we'll do this cane, we'll do this circle once it's on there. But I had this much clay left over. And remember, this is the colors that I mixed everything. So I'm just going to take some slices and where I've burnished and rolled and put all my slices down, I want to make sure that my edges are thick enough to be able to pull it off the bowl once it's baked, or to release the pressure or release the clay from the bowl. It'll pop off once you get that done. So I just added a piece of clay where it seemed to be thinner. Now that's better. Okay, and I'm going to use, this is a piece of, my grandson had to draw on it while he was living with me. But this is a piece of the sticky stuff that you take the backing off and set on your stairs or any place you don't want anybody to slide and fall. And it makes a really good texture that's just quite cool. And I'm just going to rub over it with my ball stylus, my big one. And it gives sort of a, I just want to make sure I don't get that marker in there that is going to transfer that color off onto my clay. And if the texture goes on some of my cane slices, that's fine too. Can you see the texture in these pieces right here? So So I'm going to go through and put texture on all of the gold. Work these clay lines in a little bit better. Get this all smoothed. My texture in every place. And then turn it over and do the same thing. I'm going to turn it over to the other side and texture it as well. And fix any of these cracks. And then we'll be back. Okay, here's the bowl with the clay on the outside of it, and it's on the inside of this as well. This is all textured, and I just took my little stair step sticky pad thing to keep you from sliding down the stairs and just pressed into it. And I did go over some of the flowers and stuff, especially if there was a lot of translucent showing, because I think this may be a way to help blend the translucent into the colored clay. In this case, it wouldn't work on a dark background clay with a translucent packing around your cane, I don't think. And I've cut my edges off, going around the top, and I beveled them in just a little bit as I went around. This is another reason why you should do this in 2 bakings and 2 layers. I'm not sure that the texture is on the inside clay yet. You know, it was there when I picked it up and put it onto the bowl, but I've messed with this, and I had where it was, I had to piece it together. I can't even see it now, to, you know, combine the 2 pieces to make it one big strip. And I've pressed on it to texture it. So I don't know if I've lost the texture on the other side of this or not. So we'll have to wait and see when it's baked and I'll take it off the bowl. If I had done it in 2 layers, it would have been textured and put on the bowl and baked. And then I could have put liquid clay on it, because it'd then be baked clay to raw clay, and put another layer on, and, you know, had my cane slices on it, and then textured it, and the texture would be on the inside part as well as this outside part. Now I'm just putting, the large circle is to go on the bottom of the bowl. And my big cane slice will go on the inside bottom. So I'm going to burnish it down, because you want this to where you can't feel your cane slice. And I'm going to go over it a little bit with my little rod. And smooth it out. And I'm going to turn it around and make sure that I've got it all down. No air under it. That's one of the big things, because with this being a big cane slice, it can trap air very easily. So let me go in, and we're going to texture this side. Okay, now here's the textured part of this, and my cane slices on there. And And I've made a long snake. After making the translucent bowl, I wish I had made one of those snakes and made like a round foot going around this part of the bowl. Watch for air underneath there. And it may help to take my big ball stylus and go around there. I think I'm going to take a little bit of this off and put it more of a beveled edge right in here. And I'm going to texture this side as this as well. Don't have that big layer of clay hanging on there, and I'll just roll what's left up there smooth, and then I'll texture it before I put my big snake log thing on. You also can use a fish aquarium filter to do this with, and you get basically the same type of texture on it. But I don't have one of those any longer. I don't have fish any longer. Here is my little apple stamp for my signature. We'll put that right there in the bottom center. And I'm not going to put Bacon Bond or anything on here, because I don't want the Bacon Bond to hold the clay to the bowl. But I just thought it may be most helpful to have this little ledge of a foot on the bowl to give it a better place to stand and bring it up off the table a little bit when it's sitting on the table. Now, you know polymer clay is not food safe, so these cannot be used to put like a wet food in. And I am going to texture around the foot. But here's the bottom. And I'll set it down to make sure it's level. Here's the sides. And I'll straighten up this edge a little bit before I bake it. Well, I just wanted to show you my bowl. I think it turned out pretty well. I'm surprised it turned out this well because I didn't do it in 2 bakings. There's a crack right down here, and there's a crack right over here. And other than that, there isn't any cracks, which I'm surprised. The texture stayed pretty much on the inside. Here's the outside. You can see the cracks on the outside, so I will take a little piece of my gold scraps and mix it up with some liquid polymer clay, the translucent, and fill in those cracks. And I will use the sanding disc from Tiny Pandora and sand these edges. It's a disc that you can just put on top and run your bowl over, or your pieces, and sand the edges. I'm not sure that I'm going to put any type of finish on it, It sort of looks like a golden terracotta type pot. And I like that look, so I'm going to leave it as there. Would I do it again this way? No. I would do it in 2 bakings. Most of the translucents packing around the cane slices, you can't see very well. So I'm okay with those. Some you can't see at all. Some I textured over and it seemed to help. So I'm pretty much satisfied with the bowl. Let me know what you think. Thanks a lot for watching, you all. And giving me your support. It does mean a lot. Blessings.